What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today we're checking out the Gondek EDC Hank of the Month Club Hanks for March of 2024. I subscribe to both tiers of the subscription, so you have your standard, which is $10 a month plus $1 shipping, gets you a 7" by 7" microfiber backed Hank. On the front of these is a unique design that never repeats through the subscription, is never sold in their store, so the only place you can get it is through that Hank of the Month Club subscription. Now, the same thing for the XL, except this one's $20 a month plus $1 shipping and is usually 11 inches by 11 inches, but kind of that same deal, never repeats, never sold in store. So let's go ahead and get into the reveal. We'll start with our standard as usual. This month for our standard, we have a very, very cool design. This is a comic book strip with the Lucky Charms character, and you can see it's a super vintage vibe. I'm assuming this is probably a comic or advertisement that was actually printed in a newspaper back in the day and was kind of recreated on cloth. And so this is a really cool design. You can see it has the two kids in the background trying to trap the leprechaun, as they always were in those ads, so that they could steal the Lucky Charms. Leprechaun sees right through that, kicks that trap over and takes off, but they catch him in the secondary net trap over here and get to steal those Lucky Charms and enjoy those. And so love this. I love the comic book aspect of it. I love the vintage look to it. And that Lucky Charms is perfect for that St. Patty's Day celebration, Hank, without really screaming St. Patrick's Day. So let's see what they have to say about this in the letter. Now, dear Hank of the Month Club member, happy 51st month of our Hank of the Month Club. We still can't believe it's been that long, but are so grateful for you all. The challenge of finding and or designing new awesome prints for the Hank of the Month Club is getting tougher and tougher, but hopefully you guys love what we're putting out. I, and it's Lauren this month, knew I wanted to play on St. Patty's Day to some extent, but not necessarily in a traditional way. Started of thinking everything associated with the holiday, and so the method to my madness began. I gravitated towards leprechauns and gold and knew I wanted to play on that. Secret side note, Max and I have discussed doing some sort of comic strip as a Hank for a year now, but it never really worked with our theme, etc. Well, I originally wanted to do a vintage Lucky Charms cereal box, which would have been very cool too, but we couldn't find a great image that would fit the size of our Hanks well. I'm a perfectionist and it just didn't meet my standards, but after a few hours of brainstorming, I revisited the idea of a comic strip, and when I found this gem, it was like the leprechaun gods handed me gold themselves. I was so excited to merge my two ideas and put out this super cool vintage design. So many cool ideas floating around in our heads for themes, prints, etc. this year, so stay tuned. We can't wait to grow the club even more this year and show you all what else is up our sleeves, as we really hope you guys enjoy this month's Hank as much as we do. Thank you so much for being a member of our club. Happy hanking. Thanks, Max and Lauren Gondek. And so very cool design, like I said. I think it's kind of cool as we're getting kind of more mature in the club. This is probably their third or fourth year where they're having to tackle the same theme of St. Patrick's Day or Easter, depending on which one they go with that year. But it really forces them to get super creative, and I love what they came up with and really excited to see what they continue to come up with for these different designs. But let's dive into the XL. Really plays off of the same theme, but as you'll see, it's a very, very different style of design, and so can really appeal to both audiences here. So with the XL, we have this metallic print, really, really cool. You can see it has those four-leaf clovers or shamrock leaves and that green metallic like filigree look to it, and just a very busy pattern, super bright and reflective. Love the way that looks on camera as the lights are catching it. I think this is just a super unique repeating design, which is nice sometimes for like backdrops and photos. With something like this, you really don't want to cover up that Hank because you want to be able to see each frame of the comic, but with something like this, you can lay gear all on top of it, and some of those shamrocks are still going to be showing through, and it just makes a really nice backdrop. And so let's see what they had to say about the XL this month. Dear Hank of the Month Club member, this is our 10th month of the XL. Only 2 months left until the big 1-year anniversary. March to me, and it's Max writing this one, is all about that green. And by green, I mean shamrock shakes, four-leaf clovers, and leprechauns. Just like our normal Hank of the Month Club, we spend a bunch of time trying to find the perfect design for this month, and we feel like we nailed it. As you can see, we went all out with the metallic St. Patrick's Day theme. Love a good metallic Hank, and having that shine makes it that much cooler. Also happy to have something that is more of a background print as opposed to that in-your-face design like we had last month with the Queen. One of the more challenging aspects to the Hank of the Month Club is that balancing act with the designs. One thing I know I am doing this month is making myself some other gear out of this pattern. I love it and think it would be great in a pouch or maybe a dump tray. Don't forget, we let current Hank of the Month Club members buy additional items, excluding Hanks, with the current Hank of the Month Club fabric. As always, really hope you guys enjoyed this month's Hank as much as we do. Again, thank you so much for being a member of our club. Happy hanking. Thanks, Max and Lauren Gondek. So another really cool design, and one thing that I did forget to mention in the beginning is that, or maybe I did, I don't remember at this point, but you can use these to customize their pouches, dump trays, bags, anything like that. As long as you're a member, make sure you're ordering from the same email address you're signed up with. But all you have to do is add that item to your cart. When you're adding it, there's a note section and you just tell them which fabric you want. So usually you can choose from the Hamilton Hanks if you're not a member, but as a member you can say, hey, send me the March 2024 Hank of the Month Club XL pattern, and they will make that item out of that fabric instead of the whatever other fabric they normally come in. And so really cool benefit to being a Hank of the Month Club member, and it costs the same as if you were to use one of their custom Hamilton Hank fabrics, so no additional cost, just the cost of being a member of the club. And so I think that's really cool. Also, they mentioned last month, I do have a playlist with a ton, probably over 2 years worth now, of all of the standard size Hank of the Month Club member or Hanks and every XL that they've ever done. So definitely check that out. If you want to see the types of stuff you can get in this subscription, would love to hear what you think of these two Hanks. One thing I did want to mention about this XL that I don't think I've mentioned yet is it's kind of glittery and metallic, but really happy to report that it does not shed glitter, leave glitter on your hands. That would absolutely drive me crazy, and I'd probably have to store it somewhere separate than the rest of my Hanks because that stuff does get everywhere. But this is just a metallic paint. It's not actually glittery, and so it's not going to leave glitter all over behind when you're carrying it. So I did want to point that out. But again, would love to hear your thoughts on these down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the channel as a member, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.